Oh, well, hey, it's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel. Let's go ahead and get into Real Housewives of Potomac, the finale. Let's talk. All right, y'all. So we got Karen and Ray getting ready for this vow renewal. Unfortunately, her daughter will not be able to participate because she's sick, but her son will be able to participate. He will be walking her down the aisle to his stepdad. Okay, so that's that on that. Let's move on to Robyn, Juan, Michael, and Ashley. Okay, I am so glad Juan Dixon was there. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, because y'all know I have been complaining a lot throughout the season about why we haven't really been seeing Juan. He's been leaving Miss Girl out there to dry and just out there to hang, but he out here reaping the benefits of Real Housewives. No ma'am, no sir. So I was glad to see that he was there. Okay, Michael was also glad to see him be there. Michael tells Juan about him getting a trainer, so he's really excited about him having a trainer for what, like for 5 days or something like that, 5 days out the week. So he's excited about that, honey. Robyn asked Michael about him not coming around the group, and then Michael says that it's people he would rather not be around because of what they've said about his wife. And I feel like Michael lies. It's not what they said about their wife, about your wife. You really mad about what it is that they said about you. Let's be clear. I feel like a lot of these ladies have said things about Ashley, yet you still managed to continue to be friends with them. Robyn and Ashley got into it, especially after Ashley did what she did, honey. Okay, talking about their finances and stuff, and you sitting down here breaking bread with Robyn and Juan. Okay, Miss Robyn came up there damn near about to whoop Ashley at y'all restaurant, and you sit over here, you done forgave her sitting down and eating and stuff like that. But I think that you're really mad about what they've said about you more so than what they've said about your wife. But okay, you also mad at how Chris handled your last season. Okay, you wasn't prepared for that, honey. All right, so there's that. Juan asked him, like, yo, have y'all ever had a sit down? Like, have you had a sit down with him? Have you talked to him? Like, what's that? And Michael's like, no. He like, no, because I don't want to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? There's that. Michael goes on to say that Chris is living off of his wife or something like that. And I'm like, you ain't even have to go there. You don't know if that man living off his wife or not. But did y'all notice how Juan turned his head and looked at Miss Robyn? That's because Juan know about that life. Okay, when you got to lean on your counterpart. All right, if you down bad just a little bit. Okay. What else went on? Robyn tells Michael that Chris is managing Candace at this time, and Michael says Ashley told him. He was like, oh yeah, she told me, and then asked, how does she pay him? I'm like, now here you go. Why does everybody ask that question? For some reason, maybe that's because y'all are taking shots at the fact that he supposedly doesn't have a job or whatever like that, even though he's working on some things to generate and make money in the house. So if he wasn't making money, that would be an issue. And now he's making money. Y'all feel like he's not making enough money. Oh, okay then. So then Michael then asked, isn't Candiace still living on her mom's payroll? I don't know, Michael. Let's ask you, is Ashley's mom still living on your payroll, Michael? Let's talk about that. Because remember, she was staying in a house that you had, okay, or that you owned or whatever, or a place where you were paying all the bills at. And she had a man living in that house, and you weren't too happy about that. So let's talk about that. Michaela, let's talk about that, okay? Girl, he's a mess. And that's what I can't do about booty grabbing Michaela. I can't take him because Ashley be telling him the mess, and then he turns around and be like messy with the mess. I feel like with the guys, most of the guys that are on the show outside of Miss Michaela, their wives probably confide in them, but you never really see them get into like the mess and start like throwing shade and all this other stuff. And you don't really see that, right? But leave it to Miss Michaela. She's definitely gonna do that, right? Robyn goes on and says that she agrees that Michael has never had anything good to say about the Bassets. She also accuses him of being an elitist towards them, and I agree. I feel like he does show up like he's an elitist, so much so that I feel like Ashley kind of be showing up like that too. And I just can't get over last week's scene when she was like, Michael used to own this. Girl, go sit down. All right. Juan tells them, listen, let's just be positive, okay? And so Ashley brings up them having another baby. A baby Dixon. Ashley asked if they're waiting till before the wedding or if they're going to wait after the wedding to expand the family, like what's going on, right? Robyn says she doesn't want to do it now and that she didn't enjoy doing it 13 years ago. So she's not trying to do it by herself now, right? She felt like she was the predominant parent, the primary parent in the household, doing everything, and she don't want to do that another time around, third time around. So she says she did a lot by herself. Juan feels like they did it together. Robyn says that Juan was in the league because she had too many small babies, right? She had 2 small babies at the time. They were like 18 months apart. So she felt like that was a lot, right? So if you had like one that was on its way to being a toddler, then you got this other, like, girl, that is a lot. That is a whole lot, okay? So Ashley keeps diving deeper, but we see more and more that Juan and Robyn haven't really had this talk with each other anyway. At least they haven't had this talk thoroughly enough, right? So then Robyn asked Michaela if people ever ask, this is funny, Michael starts speaking on how people are having children older now, right? Like himself, okay? But he know that he old, but there are some people that are having kids older than what they used to, right? Letting them know that it's okay if they do want to do that. I think they know that, Michaela. So then Robyn asked Michaela if people ever ask him if he is his child's grandfather, and I laughed my ass off. And he answered it, and he was like, "No, they haven't, or no, not yet, or whatever like that." And I'm like, I thought that was funny, but let's move on. Candiace, Chris, and her mama. Candiace finally gets signed. Okay, she gets signed to a company called E1. I believe it's out in Nashville. She sits down with the 3 executives, and she tells them about her latest videos that she already shot. Okay, so they asked them. Chris asked them about the singles. So when it comes to these singles or whatever, what's the total number that y'all can put out? They say we can put majority of the album out as singles. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we could do that, but it's going to take a few weeks for us to get through get the process up and running and stuff like that. So we can go ahead and pre-order the album and do all of that other stuff, right? So there's that. One of the guys lets her know that she would need to have a decorated social media. This is what they told her. And she says, "Oh, you don't have to worry about that, honey, because I shine in that department." And Chris was looking at her like, "Girl, now mother." He was looking like, "Girl, mother well." All right. So then Omega lets her know that they understand that it's a lot of things that may take place on social media that may cause controversy. Basically sounding like, to me, we understand you on a housewife show and you be having to clap back at these when needed. But at the end of the day, we want everybody to understand and know that it's clear that Miss Candiace Dillard Bassett is an artiste, okay? That's what we want the people to know beyond anything. So keep that in mind, right? Candiace begins to flash back in her head and gets the crying child. She signs her first deal, and it looked like Chris was up there crying too. I was like, okay, then. So it looks like all of y'all hard work kind of paid off, low budget or not. Oh, okay. What was it? Yeah, so let's get to Robyn and Juan. So Robyn and Juan. Robyn decided to secure the storage space. So y'all know that storage space that she went back, she checked out that storage space. It was roughly like, what, I don't know if it was $1,500 or $1,700, but it was a lot of money. Enough money for them to second guess and take a step back and wonder and question, should we do this? Should we not do this? Like, what should really happen? She says that they'll be moving at some point, right? Into their new home, because the home is getting built. Okay, so they've already actually moved into their home. But she says before that, she says the house is big enough for them to have a baby, right? To have another baby. That's what they want to do in the spacious home. So if they choose to have another child, they got room for that, right? She says before they make a decision to have a baby, she wants to make sure what happened before it doesn't happen again. I will say this, and when she speaks on that, y'all know what she's talking about. She's talking about the fact that Juan wasn't really present when she had the first 2 kids because he was in the NBA and he was out doing what the hell he wanted to do, right? But I do feel like life was different for them at that time. I do. I feel like he was young. He was out here partying. He was, young with a whole lot of money, didn't know what the hell. You know what I'm saying? He was just doing what dummies do at that age. Now he's matured a lot, and I just feel like times have changed. And I think that Juan would be a good dad. I think he'll be present for that child, right? He may not be present for us fans for Real Housewives of Potomac, but I think he'll be present for that child, okay? What else? I wanted to highlight this. She's speaking on Juan and how she wants to make sure what happened in the past don't happen now. Robyn does not know how to let go of things. She still is anxious and bothered by the fact that she gave up so much money to that friend that ended up stealing all of their money, leaving them completely broke, and then ended up, dying by suicide at a later time. So, yeah, so Miss Robyn can't seem to let things go from her past. It's for me, y'all let me know y'all thoughts. I kind of feel like Robyn, let it go. like consciously try to move forward in this, because regardless of whether he was fully active at that time or not, or whatever happened at that time or not, you continue to allow this man to live in a home with you even after y'all had divorced. Even after y'all had divorced and then got re-engaged. Girl, obviously you've been okay with how things been so far. So why is you trying to go back and reflect back to if it's going to be like this or that? That makes no sense. Did you think about that when you got engaged too? If it's going to be like the past, then I don't want it. But you got engaged again. So did you ever think about that if he proposes? And that was something you really wanted. You really wanted to be engaged, So you really wanted to do this all over again with Juan. So he proposed. Did you think about that? If it's going to be how it was back then, then you can keep your ring, Juan. No, because times have changed. Y'all have grown. It's different now. So I believe, okay? So I feel like if you could let that go enough to put a ring on your finger from this man and likely already be married to him according to y'all mortgage documents, girl, then girl, you could probably go ahead and have this baby. Now, if you just don't want another baby, then say that, but that's not what you're saying. What you're saying is you just don't want another baby with the same circumstances that you had in the past. But either way, honey, good luck, okay? Let's move on. So Juan is upset at this point because she continues to bring it up, and I think he's really upset about the fact that she's bringing it up on camera because he kept talking about how she tried to make him look like a DICK head, okay? Juan is upset and tells her to stop bringing that stuff up. He tells her he tells her she isn't going to keep bringing it up about him not being around because he felt like he wasn't around. He felt like he was around, even though she felt like he wasn't. Okay. He tells her that he isn't the same dude. And I agree with him on that. Robyn says, okay, then say that. And I'm like, Robyn, no, don't tell him, okay, then say that. If he tells you I'm not the same dude, don't keep bringing it up. She's like, okay, say that. It doesn't matter because he said that to you before, yet you continue to bring it up. He said it in a therapy session. And here it is outside of the therapy session. You're continuing to bring it up. It's not going to matter, okay? He said it's always what Juan did, but never about what Robyn didn't do. And I was like, well, then let us know more. Then let us know more. What else are you speaking on? What did she not do? Okay, what didn't she do? Let us know. I also feel like it's just unfair of her to be like, if he's not going to be an all-in dad, that's not, I don't want that. And it's like, Robyn, cut it out, because he's been pretty active since the pandemic. You the one who's been too damn lazy and lagging to want to get up and see about your own damn kids. That's what I really feel like it is. I feel like Robyn truly does not want another child. That's what I think, child. I think she don't want another child, but she's using the excuse of how life was for them when she grew up, or life was for her when she first had her first two kids. I feel like she's using that as an excuse as to why she don't want another child. I could be wrong. I think that's what it is, but she's trying to blame Juan, but we're going to move on. So later on, we can see where Gizelle and Robyn, I believe they're getting ready for, Miss Karen's wedding or whatnot. And Gizelle is trying to share Juan, talk about some, now Juan's kind of my date too. No, he's not. Go get your own. Go get your own, okay? Robyn tells her about how she wants Juan to be Mr. Mom if she's going to have another child. She says that they have bigger problems if he doesn't want to discuss the baby thing. I will say this, though. I completely understand Robyn's frustration, but I do think that he's likely going to be present for that child. I do believe that, but I also think Juan, sometimes you have to be okay with having the tough, hard conversations as well. Because when she brought that up in the therapy session last year, or could have been earlier this year, I don't know, whenever the therapy session was. When she brought that therapy session, brought it up in the therapy session, it was like you automatically didn't want to go there and you didn't want to talk about it. I feel like he should be open to talking about the things that bother Robyn, but at the same time, Robyn, once it's been discussed, stop bringing this shit up. Focus on getting a resolve. And maybe that's why she keeps bringing it up, because it's not getting a resolve. So she has to bring it back up at a later time. But y'all need to work on getting a resolve so y'all don't have to talk about this no more. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on, because we get to the wedding. Okay, we get to the wedding. Mia and Candiace end up hugging each other. Ashley arrives solo, but Michael will be there soon because he's taking Dean to a birthday party. Y'all really want us to believe that he's father of the year, but we're not going to forget anything, okay? We're not going to forget it. Next case, okay? Y'all really be trying to make it seem like he's that guy, and he's not. All of the couples arrived. Everyone was so happy to see Juan because he is like a unicorn. Like you just don't see Juan. So it was really great. Everybody was really happy to see Juan come around. Wendy arrives and she could barely get her ass out the car. I said, Wendy, now what the hell you done went and did? What you know, girl? Wendy was in the car literally like this. Literally, and had to scoot out the car, girl. Scoot out the car to get out, and barely could stand up. And when she got to the table, could barely sit that ass down. Girl, that's how I felt her jumpsuit was on her when they were down in Virginia. When she took that picture, crouched down or squatted down near Eddie, it looked like her outfit was so small that if she put an arch on her back, the shit was gonna pop. Okay, so Wendy, I don't know where you be ordering these clothes from. I don't know if you get them from Shein or whatever y'all call that, overseas or some girl. Just go up another size. Okay, I don't understand it, but good luck. All right, so Wendy speaks to Robyn once she gets inside. She speaks to Robyn. Gizelle, she didn't say to Gizelle. Candiace tried to get her to talk to Gizelle, but she wouldn't say nothing to Gizelle at all. And then what I think Wendy told Candiace to mind her business or something like that. And I'm like, Candiace, why are you trying to force your friend to talk to this lady when you know she's not going to talk to her? And Gizelle was feeling a way that Wendy didn't say anything to her. And I'm like, Gizelle, why is you feeling a way that this woman not going to talk to you? You know she don't with you like that. And you also know that when y'all was on this trip on the boat, you said that you done with Wendy, you good on Wendy. So why are you expecting Wendy to overextend herself and say hey to you? It's not going to happen. Okay, so then Gizelle has been dating, according to her, a 34-year-old commentator. And I said, no, ma'am, you're not going to be out here like Michael and stuff out here dating these young men because these men your age ain't doing you right. You better go find one that is. Cynthia found her a good one. So maybe you need to go over there to Steve Harvey and have a conversation with him and see if he could hook you up with somebody too. Okay. So then Michael. All right. So they get, I loved in the confessional how whoever the interviewer was kept asking Gizelle questions. Even though the answer kept being none of your business. I love that. Okay, I love that coming from a person who be wanting to know everybody's business. Anyway, so Michael doesn't wear his wedding ring because he has a knot in his finger, and this is according to Miss Ashley. I believe Juan said that he ain't wear his wedding ring after a year of them being married, right? I'm hoping that he changes that once they get married again or they have the wedding. Let us see. And then I think, I don't know the case with Chris. It seems like Chris wears his, but I don't know if he could have, left it in the car. So I thought he said he left his wallet in the car. And then Candiace said, but don't lose that wedding ring. And I think that's how the conversation ended up getting started. So Macy Gray is there and she ends up singing for Miss Karen. Okay, Karen comes out earlier. She walks up. She got her dress on and everything. The dress was cool. It was okay. It wasn't a bad dress, but I wasn't crazy about it either. I wasn't like, oh, that is beautiful. Not for me, but I mean, it looked nice on her. It was what it was. But anyway, so she gets ready. Oh, this was funny. One of the highlights that made me side-eye Mia yet again. Wendy highlights how there is a pastor there. And then Mia asks, is Karen getting baptized? And I'm like, Mia, did you not have a wedding? Are you really married to Gordon? Why would you ask why the pastor is there? Not ask why the pastor is there, but why would you respond, is Karen getting baptized after Wendy said a pastor is there? So did y'all just go down to the justice of the peace or whatever and just sign off on a certificate and went on about your business? If that's what you did, then that's fine. But as glamorous as you like to act like your life is, I would have expected you to actually have a full-blown wedding and understand why the pastor probably was there. Okay, let's keep going. Good luck. Okay, so then Karen comes out. Okay, it looked like Karen walks up 25 flights. Okay, I ain't gonna say flights, but she walked up about 25 stairs, just the steps, just to get to her husband for this 25th anniversary. I was like, girl, because that thing was mighty steep there. Out of all places, I was like, now, Karen, why would you choose this? Okay, as soon as Candiace pulled up, she was talking about the venue on the outside. Girl, I was screaming. I was like, but Candiace, you got to wait till you get in the inside. Got to see what it's like. Your wedding was fantabulous, beautiful, okay? And I'm sure a lot of people are going to try to drag, yeah, that's because her mama paid for it. That's because her mama paid for it. And Karen should have got somebody else to pay for hers too then, since it's her 25th and it's her grand wedding, okay? Because Candiace definitely did that and outshined, right? So, I mean, that's what I would say. Miss Karen could have got somebody else to donate to the cause then. How about that? But I mean, it wasn't a bad setup. It was just, I felt Mia, I felt Candiace on the stairs. Like, girl, everything. And you know, women finna wear these heels. Everybody ain't trying to be walking up here and stepping in the name of love on these damn stairs. Ain't nobody trying to go up this staircase like this, girl. No, ma'am. So anyway, Michael finally arrives. Ashley runs outside to embrace him. She was really so happy he was there. I feel like she was happy he was there because everybody else's husband was there. Okay, and she wanted hers there too. So I can't really fault her on that. Right. So Michael arrives. Juan immediately greets him and introduces him to Gordon. Right. Candiace says to Mike, and I'm like, Juan, when did you even have the time to meet Gordon while you over here rushing over here to make sure that he knows Gordon? Hey, Michael, you met Gordon? And I'm like, when did you even get a chance to meet Gordon? I don't remember that, but okay. So Candiace says Michael is insufferable because she was talking to a scholar. A scholar was telling her that, you know, Michael is here. And Candiace was like, yeah, he's insufferable. Okay. All right. She also goes on to say, you know, me and Ashley, we've had our things. Please understand. Okay. But I just feel like he isn't morally, okay, what she said, morally good enough for her. And I was like, interesting. Okay. So Juan says that he's ready to, because so when Juan is sitting on his side of the table, he noticed that there's absolutely no interaction between Chris and Michael. Okay. And it shouldn't be for real, for real. So Juan said, oh, we finna squash this shit. I said, come on in here, Juan, and act up like you out here earning these checks. Get in the scene. Get into it. So Juan got up, went over there. You know, he was like, we finna squash this. Here go Gizelle opening her mouth, and I wanted her to be quiet so bad. I did, but she opened her mouth. It was what it was. Gizelle says that her and Michael have gotten into it, and they were able to get better. And I'm like, Gizelle, focus. If you feel that way, then focus on the friendship that you have with Wendy then. If you and Michael could have said some things to each other, or you said things about him, you guys were able to become one, then make that same mental note for yourself as how you proceed when it comes to Miss Wendy then. So you guys can be on one accord. Okay. So then Michael says, Gizelle, you're smart. And that's why, you know, we're able to talk and resolve things. And I'm like, okay, so basically you calling Chris stupid. Gotcha. Okay. So then Chris tells him, listen, I'm going to say this. I'm going to let you eat. I'm going to let you do what you got to do. Listen. Okay. He told him, listen, whatever happened the night of the event or whatever like that, then listen, it just happened. You know what I'm saying? It was what it was. Michael says, I got a long memory. And says that he doesn't like people being mean to his wife. And I'm like, well, what about your wife being mean and disrespectful to other people? Didn't Katie suffer a miscarriage? And then Ashley read her down about something going on with her, about her mental and stuff. And they talked about why she didn't have her kids and all this other stuff. Like, didn't Ashley say some things about other people? But you want to sit up here and talk about what somebody said about your wife? Whew, help me. Now, granted, I understand as a husband, you're going to want to protect your wife, but also understand that your wife is not no motherfucking sign. Period. Okay. So, and I also just feel like, so Ashley can do whatever she want to do, and you just not gonna say shit. Can't nobody say nothing to her. She can just do what she want to do. Girl, yes. I was glad Candiace said the white privilege of it all, girl. Let's move on. So Chris tells him he felt Mike was disrespectful. Okay, he says Michaela was disrespectful towards him at the event last year. Juan moves closer because Michaela wasn't accepting anything that Chris had to say. So Juan, you know, he really wants him to Memphis, and so he gets over there and gets real close. So Michaela says that if Chris can put his hands on him, then he can apologize. And I'm like, and motherfucker, if you can sure enough sit right here and tell somebody else what they need to do, then you too can do the same damn thing. Excuse me? So Robyn says, Michael, you can't act like you did nothing wrong. And I was like, okay, you trying to shine this episode, huh, Robyn? That's what you're trying to do. You done brought Juan on. You done gave us a bit of a storyline more than you did this season. And then you calling, what's his name, out on his BS? We appreciate it, okay? We appreciate the finale. All right, so let's keep going. Michael gonna ask her, well, what did I do? But don't worry about it. You don't worry about it. That's why I can't say, baby, the white privilege of it all. He said, what did she say? What did she just say? What is she talking about? My God, this girl, what did she say? Oh my God. Like, shut up. So then Candace was like, you do nothing wrong. Okay. It's like, you do nothing wrong. Everybody else is the problem, whatever. So she walks off. Okay. I agree with Candace. Michaela can do whatever he wants and then be held to no accountability. And I say that like for anybody that disagrees with that, you have to literally sit up here and look at the fact that this man has assaulted a producer of this show and is still able to come around and be filmed. And not only be filmed, but be able to alter the image and how people see him and view him. In addition, his wife can still be a part of this show. Whoo, baby. Okay, let's move on. What else? Gizelle says moving forward, it's going to be no disrespect towards each other's wives, right? Right? And then Chris was like, yeah, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because Chris was like, I've been stopped it. I ain't been the one really been disrespectful towards your wife, okay? It's been my wife and your wife going at it, okay? But when you try to come at my wife, then that's when we got a problem because you're not going to be disrespectful to her, period. That's when I'm going to step up and handle your ass, okay? So then Michael is just sitting there like he didn't want to shake hands, he didn't want to do nothing. I think Juan could have encouraged the handshake or something like that. They shook, and then Juan said, could we get a hug? And then Michael was like, no hugs or anything like that, because that we know Michael gonna be on some BS at a later time, honey. What else happened? So Michael was like, I'll hug you, Juan. Girl, he just wanted to be close to Juan. Girl, I don't know what Juan do to turn this man on, honey, but he loves him some Juan, okay? So they hugged it out or whatever. And that was that. So Robyn says she seeing the wedding of Miss Karen. She said, looking at this wedding lets her know that she has no wedding plans at all. And she says that she's not really tripping off that because they're building the house. So she wants to get one thing out of the way before they work on something else. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I feel like that's probably going to be a part of her storyline next season. It's going to be Miss Robyn working on getting married and figuring out what they're going to do about this third child. Okay. Now Juan gets ready to leave because he said he got to go to work. And Robyn was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I got to go to work. But I'm like, if you had to go to work, wouldn't Robyn have known? I felt like she would have known ahead of time before you even showed up. So I don't know what that was, but I guess. And I'm like, how you come in, show more love and support to Michaela than you do Robyn? Buy one. Go catch your Uber, baby. Go catch your Uber. So Candace and Chris talking about, Candace and Chris are talking because he's upset with her because he really didn't like the fact that she said something about, the white privilege. He feels like some things that may come in your head doesn't need to be expressed all of the time. And I understand, you know what I'm saying, where he had a point. But I was with Candace when she said hell no, because this white mother feel as though you could say whatever, he could get away whatever and you ain't gonna say shit to him. Like, absolutely not. So I understood exactly where Candace was coming from when she was talking to Chris about Michaela. She says, yeah. That's what she said. She said that Michaela thinks that everybody is supposed to bow down to her. And I'm like, I'm with you. I'm with you on that, girl. Michaela does feel like people supposed to bow down. Like they never wrong. And it's so crazy because that's exactly how Ashley sees her husband, as if he does no wrong. And she's just like, it's okay. All is well. Everything is good. Girl, bye. No, ma'am. The only thing I will say though, Candace, you ain't have to get loud with that man at that time. And I know you were getting loud and passionate about the whole Michael situation, but Chris was very calm and monotone with you. Okay. So you ain't have to get loud with your husband like that. But and y'all damn near created a scene in that moment because you didn't want to be checked. Now I do understand you were upset, but I would have told Chris, we'll talk about this when we get to the house because I don't want to embarrass you or anybody else in this mother. You hear me? And I would have said it because see, Candace, you got to learn your calm, nasty. I mean what it is that I say because I'm not yelling. Okay, you have to figure out that piece right there because I would have got his ass together real quick, real stern. Like girl, them lips would have been very close together, and so is the motherfucking teeth. Do you hear me? I'll talk to your ass in a motherfucking minute. Yeah, I'll talk to you about this when I get home. Because I'm not going to sit up here and embarrass you in front of all these motherfucking people and others, okay? Girl, I would have got his ass together real good, and we would have gotten the cussing and fussing when I got to the house, period. But there's that. Ashley, when it gets down to the end of the show, okay, when they checking up on everybody, seems like Ashley want that third baby. I do not want to see her with another white one. I'm not interested in seeing Ashley, have another child. Work on the two that you have. Okay. And because they a handful already. Just, focus on them. Like, girl, there's that. We'll see. She may end up having another one. I'm surprised she ain't pregnant right now. Okay, but we'll see. Mia, okay, it seems like Mia's budget is low because she's building a house now and she's deciding to build a suite for her mama. I hope it works out, but don't bring your mama back on the show. Gizelle's still working on her heart in her house. She ain't dating that commentator that she was telling everybody she was dating, girl. We'll see. Wendy, she done released those $45, $50 candles, honey. She done sold out of them, so I guess she gonna end up doing the book next if the book ain't already out. Candace done dropped this album, and it seems like Chris is still her manager. Seems like the album's doing well, so I guess that's not too bad that he's her manager. And Robyn, I don't even know what's going on with Robyn. I think they ended up moving into their house. Of course, I think that's what the ending credit said. They ended up moving into their house, and that was it. And I don't remember what they said about Karen. I guess Karen is just having a happily ever after now that she and Michael finally, did the 25 years. I will say this. I'm glad that they're doing that they did the 25-year anniversary, because in all honesty, I don't know if they're going to get another 25. I hope that, Ray lives that long for them to do that, but you just never know. So I am glad that they were able to at least get to the, the 25 or whatever. So congrats to them, honey. And that's it. That's all I got, honey. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.